Two countries, two parallel realities. One rooted in reinvention, the other in refined stability. Poland, and Canada, different continents, different pasts, and radically different ways of living and working. Let's start in Eastern Europe, Poland. Once part of the Soviet sphere, now one of the fastest-growing economies in the European Union. Here, there's a pulse, a hunger. Young professionals flooding into modern glass offices built beside centuries-old cathedrals. Deadlines are tight, expectations are high, and every second counts because Poland isn't just working. It's catching up. It's proving itself. To Europe, to the world, and to itself. Now, jump across the ocean to Canada. A nation of calm, of compromise, of quiet confidence. In cities like Vancouver, Toronto, or Montreal, the mornings don't start with stress, they start with space. A walk with your dog. A chat over coffee. A commute that might just be a bike ride through the park. There's pressure here too, sure, but it's buffered. Buffered by social systems, by flexible work hours, by a deep cultural respect for balance and well-being. Poland is speed. Canada is space. Poland is urgency. Canada is understanding. Both are building the future, just in very different ways. But what does that actually feel like for the average person? What is it like to wake up in Warsaw versus waking up in Ottawa? How do people commute, eat lunch, finish their day, and handle stress? Where are employees expected to give their all, and where are they encouraged to hold something back for themselves? In this video, we're diving deep into one ordinary working day in both countries, from morning to evening, to show you two very different lifestyles that both claim to be modern. Direct it, and by the end, you might just change your mind about what a good job and a good life really mean. So here's the question for you. Would you rather live in a country that's charging full speed into the future, or one that's already made peace with the present? Poland or Canada? Let's find out. Poland. A day in the life of a young Polish professional. Sun morning. It's around 6:30 or 7 a.m. in cities like Warsaw, Krakow, or Wrocław. Most young professionals, especially in tech, marketing, finance, or law, are up early. There's a shared mindset among them. You don't wait for opportunities in Poland. You chase them. Hustle is normalized, even romanticized, especially in competitive industries. Career building is not just a personal goal. It's often tied to national pride, being part of a generation that shifts Poland's image from post-Soviet to next generation. The morning is pragmatic. A fast shower, quick skincare, and strong espresso or kawa z mlekiem coffee with milk. Breakfast is often simple, a sandwich, yogurt, or leftover soup, but many skip it entirely in favor of getting to work earlier. Some grab a Drozdzoka sweet bun on the way or stop by Zabka, the ever-present convenience store chain, for a quick bite. Others opt for healthier options like cottage cheese with vegetables or protein smoothies, especially in the cities where fitness culture is growing. This isn't a land of slow, mindful starts. The energy is alert, focused, slightly anxious. People scroll emails while brushing teeth, respond to Slack messages in pajamas, and mentally prepare for client calls before they even leave the house. The tone is, time is pressure, and that pressure pushes things forward. In social media spaces like LinkedIn or Polish Twitter, productivity is often glamorized, and the 5 a.m. club trend has found its way into urban circles. The idea is simple. If you want to move up, you need to move early. Many in their 20s and 30s are first-generation white-collar workers. Their parents may have grown up under communism, but they're coding for international clients, designing digital campaigns, or managing EU-funded projects. There's pride in that, and also an unspoken sense of responsibility to not waste the opportunity their generation was given. The weight of transformation is everywhere. You feel it in conversations and ambitions and the unspoken drive to rise, grow, prove, and deliver. It's not just about money. It's about becoming part of a new Poland, one that's modern, global, and respected. Metro commute. In big cities, the public transportation system is excellent. Trams, buses, and metro lines are modern, affordable, and usually punctual. Many use apps like Jack2J to optimize their routes. Warsaw and Krakow have invested heavily in transit, and it shows. Even in rush hour, the system remains efficient. A typical commute lasts 30 to 45 minutes. During that time, people catch up on news, check messages, or zone out with podcasts. Some read on Kindle, but most scroll Instagram, TikTok, or business news portals. The more ambitious may use the time to listen to self-improvement audiobooks or practice a foreign language with Duolingo. The atmosphere? Quiet. Poles aren't big on small talk with strangers. It's a cultural norm to keep to yourself in public spaces, not out of coldness, but respect for boundaries. Headphones in, eyes down. You're in your own world. Eye contact with strangers is rare and usually brief. Cars are still common in suburbs and smaller towns, but in urban centers, public transport or bikes dominate. Warsaw, for instance, has a booming bike culture in spring and summer. E-scooters are everywhere, and many young people rely on them for short-distance commutes. With recent investments in bike lanes, cities are becoming more cyclist-friendly. Office buildings start of the workday. The official start is between 8 o'clock and 9 a.m., though many arrive earlier, a leftover habit from school systems where punctuality was sacred. Offices range from glassy corporate towers to hip co-working spaces filled with plants, exposed brick, neon motivational signs, and artisanal coffee machines. Even government buildings are slowly adopting modern design, though still more rigid in culture. In industries like IT and design, flexible hours are common. But in banking, law, or government, the rules are stricter. Clock and times matter more, and so does presence. There's still a visible difference between cool startups and serious companies, and employees adjust behavior accordingly. The tone in the office? Productive, a bit intense. Colleagues say good morning, Dzień dobry, and then dive into tasks. There might be a quick stand-up meeting, followed by emails, Excel sheets, Jira boards, and a very necessary second coffee. Morning energy varies by industry, but in general, it leans toward quiet focus. Hierarchy is present, though slowly shifting. Younger managers try to be more horizontal, promote open-door policies, and use first names, but there's still a strong line between leadership and team. Criticizing your boss openly? Still rare. And feedback flows more top-down than laterally. However, international companies based in Poland often import more relaxed communication norms. There's pride in professionalism. You don't talk loudly. You don't slack off. People are serious, not in a gloomy way, but in a this matters way. Work is not just a paycheck, it's proof you've made it. Polish office culture values results and reliability. Showing up and delivering consistently earns trust faster than bold ideas alone. Fork and knife would plate lunch and breaks. Lunch comes around 12 to 1:30 p.m. But don't expect a full hour. 30 to 40 minutes is the norm, often eaten quickly at your desk or in a modest office kitchen with a microwave and 2 plastic plants. In smaller companies, colleagues may eat together, but often, lunch is solitary and practical. Popular options include homemade meals in reusable containers, stews, pasta, potatoes with sauce. Leftovers from niedzielny obiad, Sunday dinner, are common. Some go out to local bistros. Barmlexny still exist. Order in using apps like pyscne.pl or Grab Sushi, which is surprisingly popular. Healthy bowls and vegetarian options are becoming more mainstream, especially in younger circles. Pierogi and Zurek are more for weekends. On workdays, it's all about fuel. Few linger over meals. Lunch is a necessity, not an event. Break culture is minimal. There might be a 5-minute chat near the coffee machine, but otherwise, eyes on screens. In startups, you might see foosball tables, beanbags, or even gaming consoles, but don't expect people actually using them unless it's Friday. Image often overtakes reality. Some companies install wellness corners or even offer mental health days, but how often employees take advantage is another story. Energy drinks are a staple for developers and designers. Coffee? Mandatory. A third cup by 3 p.m. isn't unusual. You'll hear the whir of coffee machines more often than laughter. Alarm clock end of the workday. On paper, most jobs end by 5 o'clock or 6 p.m., but leaving on time depends on your company culture. In many places, it's okay. In others, especially where team targets are aggressive, staying late is silently encouraged. There's no glory in burnout, but also no reward for coasting. Poland's still building its middle class, and ambition often wins over balance. There's a belief that extra effort now will pay off in the future. That belief fuels an after-hours culture of just one more thing before logging off. If you're in a growth-oriented role, you may stay online in the evening polishing presentations, tweaking proposals, or answering late messages. Not because someone asked, but because it's expected. WhatsApp groups and Microsoft Teams chats stay active until 8 p.m. in some industries. In IT, it's not uncommon to deploy changes late at night, especially for international clients. Some workplaces enforce balance, encouraging employees to turn off notifications after hours. But these are still the exception. The norm is silent acceptance of a slightly stretched workday. Sunset evening. After hours, life is more varied. In major cities, people hit the gym, join fitness classes, or unwind in saunas. Some attend networking meetups or side hustle on freelance projects. Others decompress with wine, gaming, or binge-watching Polish YouTube channels or international Netflix hits. Serialowy weeks or series night is a household phrase. There's a strong self-upgrade culture, evening language courses, part-time MBA programs, and tech boot camps are popular. For some, it's about ambition. For others, about stability in an unpredictable world. Certifications are collected like digital badges. Coursera and Udemy are often mentioned in casual conversations. Many also take care of family, helping kids with homework, visiting elderly parents, or just doing housework. Life is full. Time is scheduled. Leisure is earned. The rhythm of life is structured. Even relaxation is often planned. Weekends are sacred. Hiking in the Tatra Mountains, visiting family, going to the countryside, not wise, or escaping to the Missouri Lake District. Poland knows how to unplug, but only after the work is done. Saturday mornings might begin with shopping at local markets or walks in city parks. It's balance, not in the moment, but across the week. Poland cultural notes. Formality still matters. Saying dzień dobry to colleagues, addressing managers with pan/pani in formal settings, it's part of professional etiquette. Even emails begin with proper greetings. Titles, degrees, and honorifics are still respected, especially in older or more traditional industries. Hard work equals respect. The culture still carries echoes of post-communist hustle. Being tired or overworked is seen more as dedication than dysfunction. Narzekak to complain is common, but so is pushing through. In team chats, you might hear jokes about needing a fourth coffee before hearing complaints about poor work-life balance. Warmth is hidden, but real. Poles may seem distant at first, but bonds grow strong. Humor is dry, sarcasm is common, and once you're in, you're really in. Colleagues often become friends outside work, and shared lunches or weekend gatherings are common once trust is built. Canada. A day in the life of a Canadian worker. Sun morning. In Canada, mornings begin. Most people wake up between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m., but the mood is very different from the Polish race against time. Here, the morning is about balance, stretching, a hot shower, a calm breakfast, maybe even journaling or a short meditation. You'll find someone blending a smoothie while listening to a podcast, another person sipping herbal tea while their dog quietly naps by the door. The vibe is not go, 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 it's more like, let's ease into this. Breakfast varies, from oatmeal and eggs to bagels with cream cheese, avocado toast, or peanut butter and banana on rye. Coffee is a must, but often made at home. Many Canadians prefer a quiet start over a café rush. In Quebec, you might even find fresh croissants and strong coffee with maple syrup. In cities like Vancouver or Toronto, people might start their day with a short walk outside or yoga in their living room. Some join 6 a.m. fitness boot camps. Others do a short meditation using apps like Calm or Headspace. Even in winter, Canadians are surprisingly disciplined about morning routines. Mental health is seen as just as important as deadlines. Some even journal or take 10 minutes for gratitude practice before touching their phones. Kids are a big part of the morning for many. Getting lunches packed, driving to school, or walking them to the bus stop in the snow, it's all part of the daily rhythm. Mornings are slow, but not lazy. They are intentional. Canadians value clarity over chaos. Bicycle commute. Depending on where they live, Canadians have very different commutes. In cities, some take public transit, buses, subways, streetcars, and the systems are clean, though not always perfectly punctual. Others bike to work, especially in Vancouver or Montreal, where city infrastructure supports cyclists year-round. Yes, even in the snow. Bike lanes are common, and many offices have showers and lockers for cyclists. But for many Canadians, especially those in suburbs, the commute happens by car. A 30 to 60-minute drive, often with a coffee from Tim Hortons in hand, radio on, and traffic updates playing in the background. The vibe is mellow. No honking, no rushing. Just patient navigation of the day. Commuters use this time to listen to audiobooks, catch up on CBC News, call family members, or enjoy a quiet moment before the day begins. A growing number of people, however, skip the commute altogether. Remote work, hybrid roles, and flexible hours are now common. In fact, it's not unusual for someone to start their day from their kitchen table, slippers on, dog snoring nearby. Even team meetings now include the occasional cat walking across a keyboard, and no one minds. Kids running in during a Zoom call? Happens all the time, and people laugh, not frown. Adult laptop computer start of the workday. Most workdays start around 9 a.m., but the tone is gentle. No one's watching the clock to see if you're 5 minutes late. As long as you get your work done, your timing is usually respected. The workplace? It depends. Some work in corporate offices, clean, open-plan spaces with plenty of light and flexible desks. Others work remotely, logging in from home with their coffee mug and fuzzy socks. Open-concept kitchens with free coffee, sparkling water, and even kombucha on tap are common perks. There's an emphasis on kindness and communication. Slack messages often start with, "Hey, hope you had a great weekend," smiling face with smiling eyes, before getting to the point. Meetings begin with casual chat, the weather, the weekend, someone's new puppy. "How are you feeling today?" is a sincere question, not a formality. Hierarchies exist, but they're subtle. Titles are respected, but managers are expected to be approachable and empathetic. Criticism is delivered gently. Feedback is often wrapped in praise. There's a strong culture of constructive feedback, active listening, and collaborative problem-solving. Inclusion isn't just a policy, it's lived. People value emotional intelligence as much as hard skills. You're expected to perform, yes, but not at the cost of humanity. Teams work best when everyone feels safe, heard, and respected. A good team dynamic can be more important than perfect performance. Fork and knife would plate lunch and breaks. Lunch breaks in Canada are sacred, but also flexible. They usually happen between 12 o'clock and 1 p.m. People step out to grab something healthy, a wrap, a salad, maybe sushi. Or they heat up leftovers from last night's stir-fry. In multicultural cities, it's easy to find Indian curries, Vietnamese pho, Korean bibimbap, or Caribbean jerk chicken just around the corner. Some workplaces have full kitchens and eating areas. Others offer catered snacks, fruit baskets, granola bars, and coffee machines. In remote settings, people might eat while watching a show or walking around the block. Some even meal prep on Sundays to save time during the week. Lunch is more than a fuel stop. It's a mini mental reset. It's okay to take a full hour. No one judges you for stepping out. In fact, not taking breaks might raise eyebrows. It could mean you're not taking care of yourself. Taking care of your body and mind is part of being a good worker. Many teams encourage short breaks throughout the day, a walk outside, a coffee break, Zoom with coworkers, or just time away from screens. Mental wellness is part of workplace culture. Some companies even offer mindfulness Mondays, no meeting Wednesdays, or virtual yoga. Mental health days are offered and actually used. Alarm clock end of the workday. Most people finish work around 5 o'clock or 5:30 p.m. And yes, they actually log off. Notifications off. Boundaries respected. Staying late isn't glorified. In fact, if you constantly work overtime, people may start to worry about your time management or your company's internal culture. Colleagues may even nudge you to take a vacation. And if someone emails after 6 p.m., they'll often add, "No need to respond until tomorrow." That said, high achievers still put in the extra effort when needed, but there's a shared belief that burnout isn't a badge of honor. Working smarter, not longer, is the true Canadian mantra. Quality over quantity. There's a clear boundary between work and life, and most people try hard to maintain it. Emails after hours are rare, and no one expects you to answer a Teams message at 8 p.m. Respecting personal time is part of workplace ethics. If you message someone after hours, you often start with, "Hope I'm not disturbing you, just flagging this for tomorrow." Sunset evening. Evenings are all about balance and enjoyment. Some go to the gym, take their kids to hockey practice, or meet friends at a brewery. Others enjoy long walks, cook dinner at home, or curl up with a book or a streaming show. Community centers are buzzing with activities, yoga, swimming, pottery, dance classes, and book clubs. Canadians love their hobbies, whether it's rock climbing, guitar lessons, baking sourdough, or gardening. There's a strong DIY culture, especially outside big cities. People fix things, build shelves, paint their own houses. It's not about saving money. It's about self-reliance, creativity, and a sense of fulfillment. Weeknights are often quiet, especially in winter. People stay in, spend time with family, and recharge. Fireplace on, snow falling outside, And a good movie or hockey game on TV, that's a typical cozy evening. Winter evenings are made for comfort. But weekends? That's when the mountains, lakes, or local markets call. Canadians love road trips, nature, and cottage escapes, and they take full advantage of them. A 2-hour drive for a hike, skiing, a vineyard visit, or a cabin weekend is completely normal. Nature isn't a luxury here. It's part of the rhythm of life. In summer, the ritual of going up to the cottage is sacred. Canada cultural notes. Politeness is real. Sorry is said often, even when it's not necessary. It's about respect and softening conflict. Even in meetings, people preface disagreement with phrases like, "That's a great point," and "I wonder if we might also consider." Equality over hierarchy. Leaders are seen as part of the team. First names are the norm, and even executives are often casual and approachable. Titles are used in email signatures, but rarely spoken out loud. A manager might sit next to an intern in the same co-working room, and no one blinks. Work-life balance is sacred. Canadians work hard, but living well is non-negotiable. It's okay to decline overtime. It's okay to say no. And it's okay to just live. Wellness isn't an afterthought. It's a priority. Personal days, mental health days, and vacation time are taken seriously and encouraged. Wake-up time and morning rhythm. Poland. Mornings start early and fast. In cities like Warsaw, young professionals are up by 6:30 to 7 a.m., already checking messages and thinking about deadlines. Breakfast is often skipped. The goal is clear. Be early, be sharp, be ahead. Canada. Mornings are calm and intentional. Most wake up between 7 to 7:30 a.m. and take their time. Breakfast, a walk, yoga, meditation. The pace is gentle, designed to nourish the mind, not fuel anxiety. Contrast, in Poland, mornings are a launch pad for hustle. In Canada, they're a soft entry into the day. Metro commute. Poland, public transport is clean, modern, and efficient. The mood? Focused. Quiet. Everyone's in their own world, headphones in, phone in hand. Commuting is business. Canada, the commute is personal space. Driving with coffee, listening to a podcast or the radio, enjoying a quiet ride. Or biking. Or walking. Or working from home in slippers, all equally valid. Contrast, in Poland, the commute is part of the grind. In Canada, it's part of your pace. Office building start of the workday. Poland, the day starts around 8:30 to 9 a.m., usually with structure. Clear hierarchies, formal greetings, focused meetings. The vibe is serious. No time for small talk. Just get to work. Canada, work begins at 9 a.m., but gently. People greet each other with genuine warmth. How was your weekend? Meetings start with casual conversation, light humor. The tone is human. Contrast, in Poland, it's work first, people second. In Canada, it's people first, then work. For knife plate lunch and breaks. Poland, a single short break, 30 to 40 minutes, usually eaten quickly or at the desk. Lunch is fuel, not a moment to slow down. Canada, breaks are encouraged, not just lunch, but mental resets throughout the day. Lunch can be an hour. Going for a walk is normal. Eating well is part of wellness, not just survival. Contrast, Poland takes breaks to recharge productivity. Canada takes breaks to protect well-being. Hour last on end of the workday. Poland, officially ends around 5 or 6 p.m., but staying late is common. Leaving exactly on time might feel awkward, like you're not committed enough. Work-life balance often loses to ambition. Canada, most people finish by 5:30 p.m. and actually log off. Overtime isn't a badge of honor. Rest is respected. Boundaries are clear. Contrast, Poland praises extra effort. Canada protects personal time. Sunset evening life. Poland, evenings are busy, gym, online courses, more work. Or just fatigue and Netflix. Many continue thinking about tasks. The theme is self-improvement. Canada, evenings are about family, hobbies, community. Hockey games, art classes, long walks. The theme is life outside of work. Contrast, Poland lives to get ahead. Canada lives to feel well. Brain work culture and hierarchy. Poland, respect for authority, clear ranks, ambition-driven. Managers give orders. Feedback flows one way. It's about performance and precision. Canada, flat structures, open communication, emotional intelligence. Managers are approachable. Feedback is mutual. Empathy matters as much as output. Final reflection. Poland is about drive, ambition, and transformation. It's fast, sharp, and fueled by a desire to grow and succeed. Work is a statement of progress. Canada is about balance, well-being, and quiet confidence. It's thoughtful, kind, and built around people, not just productivity. So where's it better to work? High voltage if you crave challenge, momentum, and personal growth, Poland will energize you. Herb if you value calm, equality, and emotional comfort, Canada will give you space to thrive.